Alright, so it's been a minute since I made my last Tales of Tanorio video, but for today, we're going to be making another video giving you guys an update on the game and when we can actually expect a release date! Now, quick recap, if you guys don't remember, Tales of Tanorio is pretty much a Pokemon game that was supposed to come out last week. Well, to be honest with you, it's been 2 weeks now, but pretty much about 1 to 2 weeks ago, this game was supposed to come out, but it got delayed because they had a soft locking issue, as you guys see from the screenshot. Now, all of us in the community, we were like, okay, we understand that. It's a soft locking issue. They didn't know it's going to happen until last minute. We get it. So they spent another week on bugs. Now, with that being said, even though they had a soft locking issue, there were still other issues that occurred, other bugs that they had to fix in order to make sure that once the game does release, that it's running completely smoothly. Now, the game was supposed to come out February 17th at 1 p.m. EST. Now, obviously, it didn't come out. Because if it did come out, we'll be playing right now, ain't we? But yeah, it didn't come out. They had to delay it because apparently the soft locking issue with other bugs, it was just messing up the game majorly, so they had to delay it, and they did not have enough time to complete it in just one day. One of the head developers, who his name is Topia, pretty much was rushed to the emergency room because apparently, because of the lack of sleep that he was getting, I don't know, well, he didn't really give us the nitty-gritty about it, but pretty much he was just rushed to the emergency room. Obviously, all of our condolences to him. I believe currently right now he is back home working on the game, but we're going to talk about that later. Now, obviously, because of that incident, Lucky HD said this: in order for the game to actually release, they need Topia to be present in order to publish all the fixes for the bugs that he made, and because of that, they couldn't do that, so obviously, they delayed again. Now, I'm gonna go back 2 times. The reason why I'm doing that is because a lot of people don't even remember, but this game was also supposed to release last year. Now, the reason why it did not release last year is because of all the copyright issues that they had with Pokemon in the past. Now, we're not going to talk about too much about that because obviously they got all that fixed by now. Everything in this game is now original. Obviously, it still has some aspects from Pokemon, but Pokemon cannot copyright them for that. Now, if you do the math, yes, this game has been delayed literally 3 times. Now, you might be asking, when will we actually get the release for this game? Now, obviously, I'm not a developer and I don't know, but hypothetically just speaking, this game should be coming out next weekend. Now, yes, boo-hoo, I know everyone's pissed, but that's literally the best case scenario. No game should ever release on a weekday, especially when they know majority of their fan base is in school. And that's another thing I want to talk about. The reason why a lot of people are reaching out and telling the developers they sold was because a good chunk of the community was already on break. Now, obviously, they didn't have a choice in whether they wanted to open the game, on top of one of the head developers not even being there to publish the game in order for the game to release. But I'm gonna say this, when it comes to the delays for this game, I'm not gonna lie, the developers are in some fault there, but at the same time, like the recent delay that we did get for this game with Topia being rushed to the emergency room, I completely understand that because technically, yes, he is a head developer and he is the head scripter for this game. Now, there's a lot of questions that I have. Like, 1, why don't they have a backup scripter? 2, why don't they have a whole team of backends just in case a scenario like that happens? Now, obviously, they even reached out. Topia actually reached out and even said that he's gonna make sure that in the future, if something like this does happen, they have a backend or pretty much a backup scripter, builder, whatever, in order for the game to actually release, or in that case, update. Now, this is when I'm gonna put my glasses on because some of the things that these developers are saying are not adding up. Now, obviously, I'm just making assumptions from what I'm seeing and from what they are saying, so yeah. So recently, Topia said this: just giving you guys an update to everyone. I am back home. I'll be resting. I'll give another update on Tuesday. I've started pushing everything for release and I've requested the other devs and VAs to fill you in on the game by supplying teasers and new information alongside showing gameplay footage. Now, you might be asking, why did he say I've started pushing everything for release? Now, the reason why I'm a bit confused on why he said this is because Lucky said this. Now, going back to what Lucky said the day that the game did get delayed for the second time, he said this: This is troubling considering that Utopian was narrowly finished, keyword, narrowly finished, pushing an extensive fix that squashed a lot of bugs and ported over the finalized versions of the cliffs and the second gym. Now, I'm confused. Lucky and all the developers of Tales of Tanorio, Lucky posted that at 12:31 p.m. on Friday, the game was supposed to release around 3 to 4 p.m. EST. If all Topia had to do was just spend 3 hours completing everything, why now do they need a whole week to actually fix everything? When Lucky literally said that all you had to do was do a few tweaks and publish it. I'm so confused. Now, obviously, this has nothing to do with Topia going into the emergency room. We completely understand that. He literally had no control in that. It's because he had lack of sleep, that he was not feeling good, that he had to go to the hospital. It's not about what he said, but it's more about what's being said from Lucky and now what Topia is saying when he actually got back. Because now it begs the question, were they ever really ready for that Friday release? Because on Friday, Lucky literally said all Topia had to do was squash a few bugs and ported off some of the information. That was it. And he should have been able to do that up to the release date, which once again, we said was around 3 to 4 p.m. EST. It doesn't look like they're being fully transparent when it comes to this game. And it really is disappointing because this game was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago. And now we're only still expecting 2.5 gyms. At this point, there should be 3. No offense. With all this time that they have prepping up for the release, they should be able to get an update for that game within a few days once the game actually does release. Now, yes, I understand Topia has to spend a few days resting, but also working for the release. So obviously that will cut the time short. But then again, some of the developers, not even some, all the developers should be able to guide him, and even other scripters in the game should be able to help him more now that he's here. So to be honest with you, everything that's being said is not adding up 100%. No offense, from what they're literally saying on the Discord, it does not add up. Now, obviously, once again, no way, shape, or form am I making fun of Topia for going to the hospital. All my condolences to him, and I'm glad that he's better. But at the same time, these developers are not being transparent about the release for this game. And it's really making me concerned because now it's like, damn, if you delay again, like, I won't even be surprised at this point, to be honest with you. Now, I'm really curious on what you guys think about this whole situation. So, yeah.